Hello everyone, and I welcome all of you to BYJU'S Exam Prep. Guys, in today's session, we are going to be discussing about how you need to manage your school with your online classes for the IPMAT 2020. In this session, I'm going to be discussing about the strategies that you need to know before you start off your. For that, before starting, guys, as you know, there's a flat 30% discount going on IPMAT, the Q, and the NPAT mock tests. Please use code Holy30 to avail this discount. Along with that, there's a new course launch for the IPM and Hotel Management Comprehensive course with foundation module. A QSET course batch 3 has recently. Please stay tuned, and also you can call us at the on the number 8806130414. A booster crash course is also on, which has been launched on the 9th of March, and for this, call us on the same number. Now, coming to the topic, because it is very important. I mean, it is absolutely imperative for all of you to, pay attention to your entrance examinations as well as your primary class 12 examination. Okay. One of the major reasons why the 12 examinations and the class 10 examinations have been given much importance whenever you prepare anything is because, whenever you go to any place in the future, whether it is a college, it's a good office you want to work in, a great atmosphere, they would always your class 12 certificate. So, in case you would decide on not preparing well for your board examination, so that mark is going to be there with you all your life. In fact, most of the good colleges that we talk about, they all want a candidate who has done spectacularly well in their class 10s and 12s. Most of the high-end examinations, they expect this, people who have done miracles in their class 10 and 12. In fact, many students do well in it. Many people do not do well in it. The one bottom line which you can actually take out from it is that in case you scored well in your class 12, you have a bonus onto you. It is like a star on your, it's like a star on your shoulder that this person has got a very good marks in class 12. That's a badge that is going to be there with you all your life. But yes, that badge is not going to define you as a career person. I There have been so many that you're going to that everyone who has done class 12, who have done very well on paper, sometimes they failed on their jobs. That has happened. That is the harsh truth of life. But you have to pay attention to class 12 because it's like an added bonus to you. And since you already have some time left for your examination, it is the make and break time. You might not have studied before, so let's buck up and start studying now. Start studying in a proper manner, because this is the phase career when that importance to your board examination has to be. Remember, this time is not going to come back. So if you avoid this time, it's just going to cost you a couple of stars when you go into you go and get into an interview room, or when you couple of people. It's just going to be an added star with you. So if you're deciding to pay attention to one and less attention to another, and this happens on a continuous, it will put you in trouble. I know it's easier said than done, but the point is, when you're doing things, both of them are important. The class 12 marks are going to add a star to your career. It's going to tell the world that you are a very good student. But the entrance examination is going to show how practical in the application of your class 12 studies you are. Have you applied that knowledge well? Do you know something more than what they have only taught you in textbooks? That is something the entrance examination. It is actually testing you to become the leader of tomorrow, testing you to become the citizen, that person, or on which people are going to look up to. Both of them are important. Both of them are imperative. You cannot avoid one at the cost of the another. That okay, I might do well in my entrance examinations. I'm going to avoid my class 12. Serve you the purpose. It's actually going to pull you back. And the same thing, vice versa. If you decide that I'm just going to concentrate on those this year, I don't want to concentrate on the entrance examinations. You realize it cost you 1 year, and when you go to a college and you tell them that you've lost a year, it's actually a very big deal. That 1 year makes a makes it a very big deal when in your initial years of your career, because they ask you what were you doing in this 1 year. Why did you have to take a break? I mean, they actually do ask you this question. I have faced it. I lost a year after class 12. So I would request all of you that in you face something like that, make sure that it has to show that yes, you were preparing for something very. See, there are several entrance tests which have a weightage for your class 12 board examination. Makes it important for in your class 12 exams. To enter into a good college, you enter into a good university, you could always know class 12 marks. In fact, usually there is a cutoff which is also declared that, there's a cutoff of say 80%, 85% in your class 12 examination. There is no way in any less attention to your examination. The only thing that you need to work here right now, or the formula function in the next few days, is there are two things. Priority fixed coupled with multitasking equals attention. So you need to, you have to understand, you need to get fixated with priority based in your preparation study. If you have left out a portion of the of a particular topic, or you've left out a particular topic and just do not find the affinity to that, that should be the topic you should state it on. You have to train your mind and tell it that where is the next. Don't do it, it's going to go down the drain. Along with that, start multitasking. Do not always say this that I have a habit of picking up one book, and until I don't finish the book I cannot go into a third one. That sounds good only in an interview. In real life, you would come across a person who does not have the ability to his mind or your mind to multitask. Multitasking, one thing, will allow you to have not only help your preparation, but also help you actually dividing your mind in the right kind of things. You can divide your time. You can do one topic. Say you're doing a quant topic and have a same thing in class 12. Why don't you prepare for the two of it in one go? Number one, once you're doing one topic, why not switch to another topic in between? You're studying for one of your subjects in class 12. Okay, I'm just giving an example. Say you're studying for history. You obviously know that a portion of come in your entrance test. So obviously there are two things that you're doing here. And in the meanwhile, when you just feel very, very bored of doing portion, why not switch to a portion that just requires you to practice? Why don't you start the portion of practicing one part? Why don't you start doing ability, mobile ability? These things are all about practice. They are not about how much you do it. So why don't you switch for an hour and then switch back to the subject probably that you're doing? Don't you think this not only saves time, because we have a tendency of taking a break after studying for say 1 hour, 2 hours? We have a tendency of taking a break. Whether the break sometimes when you study for longer hours, you take a longer break. For example, if I study for 1 hour, I have the habit of taking a break for 15 to 20 to half an hour. I take a break. In that half an hour, I usually watch TV, or I sleep, or I'm sulking with my phone. I would tell you to avoid doing that. I would tell you to avoid your phone or wasting your time or looking at Instagram. I would suggest you to rather practice for 15 minutes, practice 2 3 verbal ability sums, practice 2 or 3 verbal ability problems, and it would help your mind in running. It would keep the continuity of your mind running. It would do your job. Plus, it would help you in preparing for your thing. Plus, your exams. Plus, it would make sure that you're not wasting time. So, if you understand, a long number of things can be done over here. This will result in an equal attention process. You'll be paying equal attention to your boards and equal attention to the subjects. As I told you, this was just one interpretation of how you need to multitask a particular job. There are many many ways which you can interpret this term of multitasking. One way to look at it is you club the different tasks of the same nature together. As I told you, you're learning history, or say over here the example is grammar. So you're learning grammar for class 12. So your entrance examination might also have some grammar. So go an extra step from your hand while doing the grammar portion. Why don't you even open, you've done a chapter on vocab, done a chapter on grammar. You're doing the active and passive voice. While doing preparing for your class 12, why don't you open the book for the entrance examination and practice it in the. So if you're sitting with your book for 2 hours, you'll divide 1 hour between university books and 1 hour between the 1 hour between entrance books, 1 hour between college books. That's one of the most easy way of multitasking. Okay. Now another thing. Engaged in a school activity. It's not very important. There are many classes in school which are sometimes not very important, and you might avoid that. While sitting there, why don't you do some word list to add some new words to your dictionary? And in case you can't do that, why don't you go for a 10-question MCQ quiz? Can you do that, right? There are many websites which offer you that. You go on, you'll get a list of 10 MCQs. There will be a set timer. Apply, start working, solve some questions sitting over there. You get a list of what you've done right, what you've done wrong. So that time which is actually getting wasted will not be wasted. It will be used in something which is very fruitful. In quant also, you might learn a topic of higher maths and simultaneously practice class 12 board level as well as IPMAT level questions to save time. It's the same thing. So how are you going to fix your priorities well? See, at some point of time, you will have to situation when you will have to decide between two alternative course of actions from your studies. You need to decide which two courses of action are more relevant and important then. For example, if you might consider giving importance to your IPMAT preparation because it is being conducted a month before the QSET examinations or vice versa. So in case your IPMAT exam is going to happen soon, the math board exam is also nearby, you might consider giving more attention to maths, and it is a part of all of them. Priority fixation is situational and cannot be put in concrete exact words. I cannot tell you that this is what is going to be correct. So it depends on the situation and also the circumstances of your preparation. You're a person who's preparing for a very long period of time. To you, this might just sound like something which, okay, we know it. I mean, why do you need to tell me this? But there are many students like that who are very rigid in their studies, who just sit with one book and say that this is all I need to do. Put in your best possible efforts because it's undoubtedly the most important phase of your career. This time management, guys, is the most crucial thing that you're going to find, which is not only now but also in the long run and in any phase of life. Finally, how do I pay equal attention? So as you know, it is of extreme importance your class 12 marks. I have discussed about it in great length. It's going to give you a particular weightage in certain examinations. Also, whenever you're going to enter into IIM exams like for the MBA and anything, in case you want to attempt CAT in future, some students colleges admits to only based on entrance test, and your class 12 percentage does not have a role to play therein. So the scenarios which are there above, they point to one fact that you need to pay equal attention to your QSET prep as well as your class 12 prep. It is not just dividing your time 1:1 that I'm going to do 2 hours to this and 2 hours to that. Instead, it has a deeper meaning. You need to decide which college you want to enter into. You have to decide which scenario you have, and according to that, you need to divide the time between your class 12 and your IPMAT exams. First of all, this is the most important phase for you. Which college are you planning to go into? What is going to be your prep? What is going to be your target in the future? It's not I'm not trying to pressurize you with an answer now. I just want you people to sit back for think about what you want. I mean, it would be clear in your head. I mean, the way I had decided that how do you want to see yourself 10 years down the line? That is the question. When you close your eyes, how do you see yourself? That is going to be your motto. That is going to be something that you do. That will help you in deciding your current course right now. So with that, guys, all the best. Also, if there is any doubt that you have and you want to know anything about preparation strategies, have the number given on a little bit that you can see the number. Yes, 96500529004. Call up this number. Our counselors would be there. They would be ready to help you with any doubt that you have, any prep strategy, any issues that you have. You can call them and they would be happy to help you. They would guide you to get into some of the top universities. Also, you can write to us at support@BYJU'S Exam Prep. With that, thank you everyone online and